My name is Lisa Clarke. I'm currently residing on Exmoor. Um, Formerly, and most of my life, all my life actually, been in the Sussex, Surrey area, and just been here for 5 years. I always wanted an Exmoor pony right from when I was a little girl, and I finally got one 30 years ago. And as we all know, once you have one, very quickly you get others, more, and so it goes on. My first memory was when I was a very little girl, probably, I don't know, about 10 or so, um, reading a book called The Native Pony Breeds of Britain. And I read the book from cover to cover, learnt it all by heart. I couldn't do my times tables, but I could tell you every native pony of Britain. And that was my connection. And having spent ages studying my book, I then decided that the one I really wanted was an Exmoor pony, and that was completely appeal because of the look of them, amazing eye markings, etc.
What is your favourite thing about Exmoor ponies?
I think, in all honesty, they look gorgeous, they're this, they're that, but I love their sense of humour. She always does this.
Do you have a favourite Exmoor pony?
Well, as I'm sitting here surrounded by my two here, two round the corner, I don't think it's appropriate to say that. I would say that I have probably 7 favourite Exmoor ponies. My very first pony, who was Knight and Combe Double Dart, sadly no longer with us. And then Knight and Combe Jenny Wren, who's here. And then we have Rosie here. Round the corner is Tiger Moth and Withy Paul Brightworthy. And 2 other very special ponies in my life is an amazing pony that's on conservation grazing. I've never owned him, but he's a pony called Ember Combe, who I absolutely adored. And another pony, Tiger Moth, 2 Tiger Moths in my life, and that's also known as Fleeter, who's at the Exmoor Pony Centre.
What is your proudest moment including an Exmoor pony?
Rosie here was used as a model for a very famous, well-renowned sculptor, and she did 2 sessions actually inside his studio posing for him, and the bronze sculpture, £65,000 worth, of Rosie is currently in Horsham in Sussex, in the middle of a very exclusive housing development. And I went to see it again recently, and still got a lump in my throat to see it, knowing that that's modelled by her.
What is your most embarrassing moment that includes an Exmoor pony?
I think, well, there's obviously pages of them, but I think the one that I do remember was when I was riding Knight and Combe Jenny Wren, also known as Daisy, and I was in a pub car park in the middle of a very lovely long ride, and she started nibbling a beautiful hanging basket and pulled the whole thing down in front of everybody in the pub garden, and then just really carried on munching it once it was on the ground.
What is the funniest moment you can remember including an Exmoor pony?
But it involves the same pony, and it was 2 separate incidents. In fact, there's probably 3 actually, because one involved me as well. That was my pony Tiger Moth, with a friend riding him, had a lovely ride, finished off splashing around in a big pond on the Ashdown Forest, and he just dropped like a stone, dumping Grace just so that he could roll in the water, and then trotted off out of the pond with us running after him. The second funniest moment, and I shouldn't really laugh, and that was also Tiger Moth, this time with Lindsay Green of Tiger Moth, here on Exmoor, went through a very big water splash, and from nowhere he came out of that and then just dropped like a stone, again to have a roll because he wanted to.
What is your favourite photo with yourself and an Exmoor pony in it?
And a photo of when I was riding Tiger Moth and a friend was riding Knight and Combe Jenny Wren, and we crossing the River Barle do one of the gatherings, and it was actually in full flood, dangerously in full flood, and the ponies were amazing to get across. It was actually really dangerous, and I've got an incredible photo of them in very, very deep water battling across the current to get out of the river, and that's probably my favourite, almost special photo.
Can you tell us a bit about the different work you've done with Exmoor ponies over the years?
I became the South East area representative many moons ago, and I did that for 15 years, which was great fun most of the time. Organising the South East show, which is always a small, very successful show, different venues, lots of trials and tribulations along the way, but we always worked out well. Also organised various talks and talks by people, film nights, discussions, whatever. Also very popular. A couple of very epic rides of South East members, most notable one being at Goodwood Racecourse when 10 of us met and went out for a ride, which was exciting and much longer than planned. But it was a great experience, and for 10 of us all to be lined up on our ponies going off across the South Downs was amazing. And we did actually a few like that, and they were always really good fun and absolutely days to remember. From leading on from that, I was also very involved. In fact, I was trustee of the Sussex Pony Conservation and Grazing Trust, which was, again, fantastic. Many happy hours spent on the Ashdown Forest or on the South Downs with the ponies, either moving the ponies, checking the ponies, whatever needs doing with ponies really that are conservation grazing. We had about 80 ponies then, which lots of people wouldn't necessarily realise that they were scattered around on fantastic sites in Sussex, and that's always a real privilege to be in these often very private, very secluded places. Just me and 50 or 60 ponies, very special.
Can you tell us your favourite memories?
With Rosie here, two special times. When she was doing her modelling for the for Marcus Cornish, that was special. And also I had the opportunity to take her on the racehorse gallops at Epsom, or one of the gallops at Epsom, which was absolutely terrifying because she was so small she could actually have ducked under the running rails, which would have meant I was decapitated. However, we did survive, and that was, that was good fun in a sort of scary way. I was very amazed and proud when I brought Tiger Moth all the way from Surrey, Sussex, down to the breed show, and in a huge gelding class he actually won, which was just incredible to have a photo of him with a sash with his birthplace in the background. Most special thing ever to win at the breed show. Incredibly, a few years later, took Rosie to the breed show and she won the mare's class, which again was amazing, and they are absolutely treasured memories.
Was there a moment when you realised you no longer liked Exmoor ponies and that you did indeed love them?
Oh gosh, probably when I got my first pony, Nightingale Double Dark, probably when I got him home and I just led him out the trailer and he put his head down to drink out of a puddle, and my heart just went out to him, and I just thought, this is it, this is love. Love this pony.
What is your favourite thing to do with Exmoor ponies?
Probably, like I'm doing now, probably just sitting, chatting to them when they're in their stables or in the field or out on the moors, or when I was involved in the conservation grazing ponies in Sussex. I was always just in my element, just being with them really, just watching them.
Do you have an equine or non-equine figure, friend, celebrity, relative who's inspired you in your journey with Exmoor ponies?
No, not really. It's been me and me alone. with lots of help and support from people, but I haven't had anybody absolutely saying get on with it or do it. But I've had a lot of friends, and I've met a lot of friends because of them, and that's the important